to my channel and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey by hitting that subscription button. It's free, and hit the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. I would just like to mention that if the video is a little bit too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also, right next to it, there's the CC letters for closed caption. You can turn that on, and you can read all the stitch that I'm calling down here. By pausing the video, take notes, will make it easier for you. Now, normally when I upload the videos, it takes about an hour for YouTube to search all my words that I'm saying, so it can appear on the closed caption. So don't panic if you don't see right away the closed captions, because the video has just been launched. It will show up in about a half an hour to an hour after the upload. I also would like to mention that if you have extra yarn, extra thread, and you'd like to help the women in need, we highly appreciate it and being very, very grateful for it. Thank you for the ones that already have helped and are still helping. If you'd like to donate, right below the video, there's a little bag of $. You can donate whatever amount you'd like. Nobody's asking for millions. Anything helps. It adds up at the end. You can also go into the description box. My PayPal account is there. You can donate through there if you'd like also. Please always give a thumbs up on the video if you like the video. It does help the video to circulate and also to be recognized worldwide. I gratefully appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's one way to help me out and to help to continue to create these beautiful pieces. Also share on your Facebook public. It costs nothing. Everything is free. There's no charge of anything. So please help out to grow the channel. I do have a Facebook group, private group. If you have a profile, you're more than welcome to request to be a member. It's free, of course, and we'll approve you. You must have a profile. Be careful with the links that you go into the groups that says cut and bit. These are fraud scammers that go through your phones, your computers, and take every information of yours. Do not open up those links. There's a lot of hackers in the groups now. That's why I made sure that my group is private. I want to thank every single one of you from the start being with me, and thank you so much for the newcomers. It costs nothing to subscribe, so please do so. Thank you so much, everybody. Everything will be listed always in the description box for every pattern that I create, the sizes, the thread that I use, which is Portugal thread. They're 100% cotton thread, 4-ply, which is similar to Aunt Lydia. Number 3, which number 3 Aunt Lydia is just a little bit thicker than my thread, not by much, but a little bit. I usually use a hook 3 or 3.5, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors, of course. So thank you, everybody. Any other questions, suggestions, please feel free to comment. You can always get a hold of me if your intentions are to give some thread or yarn away. There's my email below the description box. There's my Facebook page that you can follow also, my Facebook group, my Instagram, my TikTok. So there's so many ways you can message me. Thank you so much, everybody. I hug every single one of you, and much blessings to all of you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone. So as you know, lately I've been posting, doing tutorials on pineapples by request. And you guys just absolutely love pineapples. I love pineapples too. But I didn't know how much you guys love pineapples. So I get a lot of requests, either for doilies, table runners, tablecloths, rugs, which I do have a pineapple rug out. It's in the playlist where it says pineapples. Everything has to do with pineapples is there. I'm still fixing the playlist to have everything more organized and make it easier for you guys. Now, again, I've been requested to make another doily similar to the last 2 that I did. I have the big, the medium, and the small. Now, the request is to have 3 pineapples, if I can explain it properly, on each side. Okay, so I'm going to try to do my best to come up with the plan as I'm going. So make sure you watch the video a little bit ahead before you create, because sometimes, as I'm creating, I could make a mistake and I have to come back and fix it. Usually I don't edit the video, because then you guys can see that I make mistakes too, and we can learn, or I can teach you what I know, how to fix it on the spot without taking everything down. So 4-ply 100% cotton thread. I'll do it in white, make it easier for everybody to see. I'm probably going to put a black towel here so you guys can see the stitch better, because it's the white and it tends to white out if it's too clear background. Hook size 3, of course, a pair of scissors, and a small one somewhere to tuck in loose ends, which now I used to have only one to tuck in loose ends, but now I have 2. Look at that. Thank you, Barbara, for the hooks. Also, please give a thumbs up on the video if you enjoy the video. It's very important to have the YouTube circulated. It all boils down to give those thumbs up and to also subscription. Now, I know that a lot of you, like 67% of you from India, Thailand, and Indonesia, are creating a lot of my pieces and have not subscribed yet. The least you can do is subscribe. These things are free. You don't pay for any of that. Even when you subscribe, hit the bell notification for new uploads. Also sharing. You can share on your Facebook public. Sharing is caring. That's all I'm asking you guys to do. I'm not asking you for anything else. And of course, I will ask you also to help with the women in need, desperately in need. I should phrase that again. Of yarn and thread, people that are disabled, people that are in welfare, women with children that can't work, and below poverty and whatever. You know how life is, and we all can pitch in and make somebody happy, get them through their day by them crocheting, creating nice pieces. Please, people, find it in your heart to help them. We need to stick together. It doesn't take much. If everybody could pitch in 50 cents, $1, here and there, it adds up at the end. I can get the thread or the yarn and ship it out to them. Or if you have extra, please contact me through Instagram, Facebook, my group, my page, Instagram message, TikTok. Everything is listed below on the description box. I can give you their name and their address, and you can ship it to them yourself if you would like. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. Thank you humbly so much for the person that has donated the super thanks donation for myself. Thank you so much, okay? Very grateful to you or to whoever also wants to donate in. Thank you in advance. Okay, let's get started. So this doily is no different than the medium one that I did. So not the last pineapple that I did. It's similar. They're all similar in the same family. So you create them as sets, okay? And of course, on all of them, I leave the links below to all of them. So, if you want to create the set from big to medium to small to whatever, this is going to be a little bit bigger than the medium. So it's not big. It's in between medium and big, okay? So we're going to do the magic circle. I know you guys have a hard time with it, especially my dear subscriber, follower, friend, / everything. Maggie, you need to get this magic circle going, okay? So basically, you're just making an X on your finger, okay? I could even do it here so you can see better. So you're just going to grab this thread here and bring it in. And then put your thread into position. And then just do that first slip stitch just to lock it in. Okay? If you still can't, Maggie, you have to do it. If you still can't, do a 6 chain, okay? Send you lots of hugs, Maggie, by the way. So we're going to do chain 3. Inside of this magic circle, we're going to create 15 more double crochet. So total with the 3 chains we went up, 16 double crochet. I'm going to try to make it sweet and short. Why is it whitening out so much? Oh my goodness. Could it be from the black? I don't know. Is it? Yes, I guess the black really is whitening it out. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I try my best not to have it too whitened out. And here the black, I thought the black would help, but I guess it's giving reflection on the white, so That's a no. 16 double crochet, okay? I've done my 16 double crochet. I'm going to come in the last chain here, the 3 chain we went up, and I'm going to slip stitch right through it, and I've pulled my magic circle. Now we're going to do chain 4, 3 for double crochet and 1 for space. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Next space, double crochet, 1 chain space, next space, double crochet, 1 chain space, next space, double crochet. Okay, so we'll have these 16 double crochets, separated space of 1 chain. Row 2, I'll meet you at the end. Okay, going into row 3 again, 1, 2, 3 for double crochet this time, 2 more for space. So we have 5 chain. I'm coming on top of the double crochet with the double crochet, chain 2. So we're repeating this same row. The only difference is on the second row we did 1 chain. On this one we're doing 2 chain, right? We don't want the pattern to be pulling. And we're going to follow through all the way to the end the same way. I'll meet you at the end. Going into row 4. So we're going to come in the center here with a single. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. That will equal like a triple. So we're going to come into the next one. Triple. 2, 3 chain. Again. Come into the same space. This time we're not closing. It's an incomplete triple. And into the next one. And close it all. 3 chain again. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do triple in the same space and complete. Next space. Triple, and we close it all. So we're going to be creating these little V's, if you want to call it. Chain 3 again, triple, and complete into the next space. And close it all. We're going to do this all the way to the end. I'll meet you at the end. So we've reached the end. I have the incomplete triple, and now I'm just going to come in on 1, 2, 3. Whoops, I don't know why I was thinking of doing a double here. And I'm going to go 1 more over here on the 4th one, and I'm going to close it all together. Did I do it right? No. Almost there, almost there. Sorry, people. Okay, so 3. That's right. I still have to complete the one here. Where am I? What am I thinking? Right? Okay. So, and now we are going to just come in into the next space, right? And 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to close it now on the space. That looks more normal. Now, remembering each time I call it a 2 chain or a 3 chain or 1 chain, if your tension is too tight, you always have to go a chain higher, and if it's too loose, you go a chain lower, okay? Not that my 2 chain is the same tightness or tension as yours, right? So you have to pay attention to that. Okay, you guys, going into row 5, so I'm going to come in the V, right? We'll call it the V. Single, 2 chain. Inside of here, we are going to create groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, and 2 more double crochet in the same space. Next space, create again the 2 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. We're going to repeat this all the way around, all inside of the V's, and the next row will be exactly the same, but we're going to add 2 chain between them, but I'll meet you at the end. Okay, guys, so I've closed in with a slip stitch on the 3rd chain that we did the single and 2 chain, right? Now I call it the walk. I'm going to do the walk into the center without pulling too much tightness, okay? So we can go in there freely. Single, 2 chain, and 2 another double crochet, 2 chain. So we're creating the same thing, 2 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, 1, 2 chain. We're coming into the next space of the groups and creating the groups again. So it's exactly the same as the previous row. Only difference is we have 2 chain space in between the groups. Okay? So row 6 is done. We're going to go right after this when I finish row 7. Okay, going into row 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the row 7. So row 7 is exactly the same thing. The only difference is in here we'll do a 3 chain. Here will stay the same. The group stays the same. So I'm going to give it a stretch and I'm coming in right into the center. So basically I'm just avoiding going into this one here. Saves me time, and I'm going, actually I have to go in there with a single. So stretch a bit, I'm going in and single, 2 chain, creating my groups again, just doing 1, 2, 3 chain, coming back in, creating my groups again, and chain 2. So everything else stays the same. We're just adding 1 more chain on the center of the space here between the groups. So chain 3. Unless your tension is extremely loose, then keep it at 2. So I'm going to continue row 7 and I'll meet you at row 8. Okay. Okay, going into row 8. Now we're going to start creating the beginning of the pineapple. So I'm coming into the center. I'm going to continue to do my 2 groups of double crochet, 2 chain, 2 more double crochet, 2 chain. Now I'm going to do a triple. This is going to have 12 triples in here. This is the beginning of the pineapple. So we're going to do it 12 times. Okay, I'm going to complete mine and then I'll come back to you. So I have my 12 triple crochet. I'm going to do chain 2 again. Oops. And I'm going to create my regular 2 groups of double crochet in between my pineapples. Chain 2. Now, chain 2. We're going to create again on this one here, again, 12 triples, exactly like we just did. 12 of the triple crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to come back to you once I finish my 12. We need to do 5 times the groups before we can create this side for the pineapples, the same way as we're doing. Okay, but I'll come back to you at the end of this one. So now I've created my 2 pineapples for this side, and then of course I will be creating my 2 pineapples for this side. We will have 5 groups space on this side, and 5 groups of double crochet, space on this side. Okay, so chain 2. We're going to create the first group. We need to have 5 before we can start the other pineapples. Okay, so 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet, 2 chain space. Again, create your groups, and we're going to do it 5 times before we come back and do the triple. So I'm going to create my 5 groups, and then I'll come back to you. So I finished creating my 5 groups after my pineapple. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I'm going to create my pineapple again on this side. So chain 2, I'm going to do 12 triple crochets again. So I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing as we just did on the other side. Not complicated at all. And my hands keep slippery now, my goodness. Okay, so do your 12. It's exactly like we did here. So now we're just doing it here. 12 and then 2 chain. We're going to create the group and then 2 chain and then 12 again. And of course on this side we'll be having the 5 groups exactly like we did here of the double crochet. So I'm going to continue to do my 12 triple, 2 chain, my regular group, 2 chain, my 12 triple, and my 5 groups of double crochet. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I've closed in with the slip stitch. As you can see, we have the 2 pineapples on this side. Whoops. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups on this side. We have the 2 pineapples here and 1 group in the center, of course. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 groups on this side. Okay, now next row we'll still repeat the groups the same way. I'm going to go into the next space, slip stitch, and into the center with a single chain 2. Create our group, stays the same as I said. So 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 double crochet. Chain 2, we're going to create a triple again, coming into the first triple. The only difference of this row, so it will be 1 chain space between the triples, okay, and we're going to also modify here on the 3rd group, okay. So we're going to continue to do the triple, 1 chain space between them. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I've done my 12 triples, my 2 chain. I'm going to create my first group, 2 chain, 2 chain again, my second group, and we're going to modify on the 3rd group, okay? Chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 2. Okay, so on your 3rd one, we're going to create 3 groups of 2 double crochet, okay? So first group, chain 2, second group, chain 2, and your 3rd group. Remembering that you have to do the same thing on the 3rd one on the other side. Chain 2 and create your normal group of 2 double crochet. Chain 2 and again. And we're going to repeat the triple crochet with 1 chain separated space between each triple. So 3, and you will have to do 3 here on this side also. Okay, 1, 2 on the third one. The 2 beside it is normal and the other 2 is normal, like these 2 here and these 2 here. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I finished row 9, and like I said, we had 1 chain space between the triples, and on the middle one here, which is the third one coming from whatever direction, 3 groups space of 2 chain of double crochet on both sides. Okay, going into row 10, we're going to continue to create the group the same way. Single 2 chain in the center, chain 2, chain 3 now, because we're creating the pineapple. We're coming into the first space, chain 3, next space. We're going to start to decrease on the pineapple, chain 3, next space, chain 3, next space. So I'll meet you here. So you're going to do your normal group, you're going to do your 3 chain, because now it's 3 chain in between them, and I'll meet you here at the end of the second pineapple on the other group. So I've done my 2 pineapples. I'm going to do my normal group, two chain into the next group, create your normal group, 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, 2 double crochet, 2 chain. Coming into the first group here, I'm going to create a group of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 double crochet. Two double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. Chain 2, next space. Create 2 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 double crochet. You have to do exactly the same thing on this side. Okay, everything else stays the same, 2 chain, and continue groups normally as we've been doing. Two chain, continue the next group, 2 chain, 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. So now it's all chain 3s. Create your pineapples and continue again the same way. Normal group, normal group. We're going to have 2 groups of double crochet, space of 2 chain, 2 chain, 2 more groups, space of 2 chain, exactly like we did here. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is row 10. Okay, you guys, going into row 11. So I've closed in with a slip stitch. I went into the center because it's always the same thing. Chain 3 and continue with the pineapple all the way to, we're going to do the 3 chains all the way, do the normal double crochet between the groups between them, do the pineapple, and I'll meet you here at the end of the second pineapple because it's just a repeat now of 3 chains all the way there. Okay, so I've done the pineapples, the 3 chains. I've done my first group. Chain 2. I'm coming in into the space here with a single. Actually, no, not here yet, sorry. 1, 2. It's after here that we're going to do the 2 chain single. So we're going to create our group. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, picot. 1, 2, 3, into the same space, picot. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to come right into the first one down here. And picot. So we have 3 picots there. Coming in and doing my 2 double crochets. So I have my 3 little picots there. I'm going to do 1, 2 chain. I'm coming into the center here between the groups and closing it in with a single. 2 chain. I'm coming in again to the next space, create again my 2 double crochets, because we're closing out the sides now and we're going to work only on each side. Chain 3, picot. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come into the first one still, picot. 1, 2, 3, again. Picot, and coming back in and doing my 2 double crochets. Chain 2 and repeat. Single, chain 2, and into the next space and create your groups with picots again. 1, 2, 3. Picot. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to close it in. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to close in to my first one here. And then I'm coming in again and create the 2 double crochets. Like that, and then again chain 2 into the center here with a single and create my last groups with picots, okay, because the other one is a normal one. 1, 2, 3, picot. 1, 2, 3, picot. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come and grab it where I started, but I'm coming into the first one here. And pulling it all up with a single. Well, sort of, right? Try that again. Okay, so I'm not closing it yet. I'm going to pull it through here, and there we go. So, create your 2 double crochets. Here we're doing the normal 2 chain and going directly into the space exactly like we did at the beginning there. So we're creating that normal. So we're only going to have 4 of picots, okay? Chain 2 and chain 2, and the other side will be the same way. So we're going to continue to do the chain 3 here for the pineapple, always until the end, and just repeat everything again. Okay, so do your pineapple, all your 3 chains, your 2 chain, your group, your 2 chain, your picots, and your group. Chain 2, single, chain 2, do your group, your picats, your 3 picats, and your group. 2 chain single, 2 chain your group, 3 picats in your group, single. So you have it in four spaces, right? And your singles here, you have it in 3 spaces. So we don't close here and we don't close here because this is part of the pineapple that's going to go up this way. Okay? So I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, you guys, going into row 12. So we finished doing row 11, the picats, slip stitch, and into the center with single to chain. So we're going to do the normal group. Chain 3, create your pineapples, and then I'll meet you here in the center. So I'm in the center of the pineapples. Now here we're going to do 3 groups instead of 2. So 2 more chain and 2 more double crochet. So we're going to have 3 groups of 2 double crochet here between the pineapples, because now we're going to work one side back and forth, and once we finish this side we have to cut the thread and work the other side. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So we continue the pineapple same way as we've been doing, and I'll meet you here on the first group after the pineapple. Okay, so we're at the last group. We're going to turn around. We're going to work back and forth now. Got to create one side and then come and create the other side. Okay, so into the center, the groups always stays the same at the edges. 2 chain and 2 more double crochet. Chain 3. All of this stays the same. It's just going to change a bit in the center of the between the pineapples. Okay, so create your 3 chains and I'll meet you here in the center between both pineapples. So I finished the pineapple, I did my 3 chains, and I created my first group in the center of the first one here because we have 3, remember? Now I'm going to do chain 2 and create another group here on this side. Okay, chain 3. So we continue the same way. Like I said, the only thing that's going to change is here. Everything else stays the same all the way to the group. So when you get to the end, after all your chain 3s, you're going to turn around, do your chain 3s again, come back, and I'll meet you here on the other side. Okay, now I'm not going to count any more rows after this because then we have to do the other side. But if you still, want to count, that's fine by me. It will have to stay the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So row 13. Okay, I'll meet you in the middle of row 14 back here because everything else is the same. It's just chain 3 and normal groups. Okay. Okay, so I've done my pineapple. I've done my regular group. I'm going to do 2 chain. I'm going to come in the center. I'm going to do a group, 2 chain, and a group again. Two chain, and another one again. 2 chain, and another group again. A normal group for the pineapple. So basically what I'm doing is I'm setting up for the next pineapple. And that's what's changed on this pattern from the other medium one until here, until this row was exactly the same. Now I'm changing up the game. Hopefully I can get this right. Okay, so we're going to continue to do the pineapple. I'm going to come here, I'm going to turn around. I'll meet you back here again in the center. Okay, so we've done our normal group. I'm going to do chain 2. I'm going to come in the center here, create a group, chain 2 in the same space again, 2 more double crochet, chain 2, create again the same thing, 2 groups of 2 double crochet, chain 2. Okay, so far, chain 2, and back to our normal group. And then the pineapples. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so this is what we're creating here. Now, when we are going to come back, we're going to do exactly the same thing. The only difference is on the other side. When we get to the other side, we're doing the 12 triple crochet. So we're beginning with the 3rd pineapple. Okay. Okay, so I'm on the other side, creating my normal group, 2 chain, creating the next one, 2 chain. Now I'm going to do my 12 triple crochet in here to create the beginning of my 3rd pineapple. Okay, so do your 12 in there. So I've done my 12 triple, chain 2, and create your group. So basically we're setting up the groups for this pineapple. Okay. Chain 2 and create your normal groups for the pineapples. And then your chain 3s for the pineapples, okay? So I'll meet you here on the other side once you create all the 3 chains, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, everyone, so I created my regular group, my pineapple, my regular group. I did my first group. I'm going to do my 2 chain, and I'm coming in with a triple, exactly like we did the other pineapple, 1 chain space, and again, triple, 1 chain, and create your 12 triples, okay? So continue, do your 2 chain, create your group, do your 2 chain, create your group, do your 3 chain pineapple, and I'll meet you back here again. Okay, you guys, so turned around, did my group, did my pineapples. I have like 2 left. Did my 3 chains, my regular group, my 2 chains, my regular group, my 3 chains, and starting to come in and do exactly the same thing as we've been doing for the pineapples. Okay, so nothing to it. So I'm going to continue now, because now it's just the regular thing. just a 3 chain here and 3 chain there. And on the pineapples, there's only 2 left. When we get to the last one, okay, so the next row will be 1. The row after that, I'll come back to you because we're going to do a 4 chain stitch to lock in the one loop only for the pineapple. Okay, we need to lock in everything to close out one pineapple on one side and close the other and just continue with the middle one. But I'll be back with you. Like I said, you could always advance the video and see how it's being, but everything else stays the same. Nothing changes now anymore. Okay, until we officially close this pineapple out. We're going to continue just with this one. Okay, you guys, so I'm pretty much on one left, as you can see. This is what it's looking like. So now we're going to do a 4 chain on the last loop of the pineapple. Tab 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to come in to my last loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything else stays the same until the next row. So once we finish doing all of this, everything else stays the same. Three chain, and again create your groups. I'm just going fast because it's just the same repeat, right? We're just creating the other pineapple. Everything else stays the same. Okay, so I'll meet you at the other side. Once we finish doing the 4 chain here, when we turn around, I'll meet you there. Okay, you guys, so this is what it's looking like. Okay, so now we're going to close this pineapple almost out. So we're going to come do a slip stitch into the center. 1, 2, so single 2 chain, another double crochet, chain 2, another group, I'm going to come directly into the next group there, no chain space, and create a group. Chain 2, I'm coming in doing my group, chain 2. I know that I think I called out a few of them, chain 3, but even if you did chain 3, it doesn't change anything on the pattern. I have 2 rows here of chain 3, so no biggie. And here we have to do the chain 3 for the pineapple as usual and create the pineapple with chain 3s. Okay, so again, we're going to get here and we're going to do the group. We're going to come directly into the next one, do the group, turn around, and I'll meet you here. Actually, turn around now. I'll meet you here at the end, I should say. Okay, we have to continue to close in our pineapples. Okay, you guys, so this is what it looks like. We're going to turn around. Again, we're going to go into the center, slip stitch and single, create. Okay, here we're going to do the peacocks, okay? So I'm going to do my first picot. You don't have to, I mean, if you want to close it in as just normal, then go ahead, but I'm going to match the rest of the pattern in the middle. So second picot, chain 3, I'm coming in both to close in here, and my third picot, okay? I think it just gives it another, oops, okay. So we'll leave it like that. We're going to come into the next one. 1, 2, and 3. Picot 1, 2, and 3. I think it just gives it a difference, right? 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to come here on my single that I started chain 3, and on my first one here, just so I can get them all nice and even here, and create the 2 double crochets. Okay, so now I have, how cute that is. I like it. I mean, I'm just going with the flow, you know. If I like, I keep, and if I don't like, I take down. But I like, so we'll keep. It's a keeper, as they say, right? 1, 2, coming in, and I'm doing my groups. And continue your pineapple, and then when you get here, you have to do exactly the same thing, okay? And then I'll meet you once we are there. Okay, you guys, so we pretty much finished doing the picots on both sides. We've closed out the pineapple. I'm going to cut my thread. And then I'll tuck in at the end. Now, we continue to proceed the same way as if we had to turn around and work the row, right? And then we're going to just work on this pineapple, which is the last one, to have it closed out afterwards. So we're going to come in where we have our group. And just, you know, the same thing, just create your groups the normal way as we've been doing, so nothing to it until we have one loop left, right? I got to tuck in more of my thread from the beginning. Chain 3, and then proceed. So you're just going to work now on this pineapple back and forth, right? Just back and forth until you have one loop left on the pineapple, and I'll meet you here back again. Okay, guys, so we're on our last loop. We're going to do the 4th chain. Single. And create your group. Turn around. We're going to do 2 chain, create the group. Directly. Turn around. Slip stitch, single, 2 chain, create your 2, 1, 2, 3, create your pecans, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go into the single here that we closed in, and into the first one here. My goodness, my eyes are giving up on me. And then create your group directly into the next space. And do your picots again. So I've done my both picots. I've cut my thread, and I'm just gonna tuck in the loose ends back here. It's always best to give it a knot also, because then it secures the pattern from not going anywhere, right? This is good enough because I give the knot, so that's basically you would close all your loose ends this way. Now, just gonna tuck in this one here. So we're pretty much done this side, right? Now, there's two ways to go about, because obviously we have to do this side. You can put a marker on each row you're going and follow, you know, and just rotate and then keep following with a marker. Or you rewind the video and you follow through, pause, you know, and play, pause, play, and here we go. Take notes, turn your closed caption on, take notes, and you can follow the notes by there and put your marker also. That will help you with the closed caption, taking notes, then at least you're sure on how it is. I'm going to continue to finish mine, and then I will have a little video at the end and the pictures for the reveal shots, okay? I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This was a pretty quick, easy tutorial to do, I guess. I was just a little bit overthinking how I was going to place the third pineapple here as requested. So I hope I did justice for the people that requested a 3 pineapple. It's not the same as the last one. It seems the same because the other one has 3 pineapples also, but the middle here is very tiny, and I have a flower in the middle for some of you that know. This is like the same concept, the beginning, as the one before the last pineapple, the medium one. The only difference is there's only 2 pineapples and not 3. So I've created the third one. I've designed the third one. I hope you guys like it and enjoy it, and I'll have all the measurements and everything at the end. Please give a thumbs up on the video if you like it, and thank you so much for being part of this channel with me. I hug you and love you, all of you. Thank you to every single one of you. Bye-bye. Till next time.